Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we've had a lot of signings, new people bringing in from WWE for quite a last few years. We've had so many, which, there's a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of just meh, but let's just talk about it. So we have obviously our categories here, and we have a bunch of, people here. Some of these people were people that were released, like either during the Vince era or just released in general, and then they were brought in back. You're brought back, and some of these people have already left again. So unfortunately, it's kind of like that. So right off the bat, we got Akam. We had Akam and Razar from the Offers of Pain. I thought they were a solid NXT tag team, and I thought when they came back and they were part of the Final Testament, I honestly liked that faction. I thought it was not one that really had a lot of I guess like behind it, like there wasn't going to be like a big push that they're ever going to get, but I just don't understand why they just kind of dropped it. So I'm gonna put him, Paul Ellery, and Razar all in the white. Bother bringing them back. I definitely think it was a good idea what they tried to do, but then they didn't do anything with it. So I guess that's the best way to put them. Next up, we have Alistair slash Malachi Black. They brought him back after. Did they release him? I think he just left naturally the first time. Honestly, I feel like he's kind of one of those people that I like that he's back. Like, I definitely like him than some of the other, like, re signings. I just don't know what they're going to do with him. He's, like, at that age where it's like, I definitely don't think he's that world champion, caliber person that they're going to give that shot to. But, like, do you want to use, like, the US title or IC title on somebody like him? Because I honestly think it's not a bad choice, but I think there's also a lot that the mid card is very stacked. So I'm gonna put should be doing more. I think there's a good shot that like he definitely should be doing more stuff, and I think he'll at some point get some type of push that will be different because that happens, with a lot of the people. Next up, we have Andrade, kind of in the tag division right now. Just had that killer six-man tag match at SummerSlam, so I think like he's doing pretty good. I mean, I really do. I think that he's had some pretty good shots. He had that best of seven series with Carmelo. He had some U.S. title opportunities. I think he's had a pretty solid year being back. Next up, I don't know who that is because I thought that was BFAB. Did they have it on two different people? Or no, okay, that's Adonis right there, and then BFAB. They just have it really out of place on like what the picture. Adonis, I would have to go. Why bother? Like he didn't get really used in the main roster after getting re-signed, and then they put him down in NXT, and they just kind of put him in a weird storyline, and now we haven't seen him in a bit. So I'll have to do that. Next up is BFAB. I'm kind of mixed with BFAB because I feel like she's been pretty solid, and then they've kind of just pulled the plug on her when her and Meacham were doing some stuff. I thought there was a lot of it that could have been good, that she at least could have had that opportunity in that like either tag division or U.S. title area to get some title shots, but it just never seemed to really fully work out for her. So I'll put it in mid. I think it was a mid decision. I do think that there's still like it's still glad that she's back because I mean even just being with the Profits that should help a lot. But we should see. Next up, we have Blake Monroe, which was Mariah May. Honestly, this one could go 50-50. Second of this cat out. Go. Go. There. Now you don't have to have meowing in the background. So, Blake Monroe. I think it's like too soon to tell. I think it was a good signing, so I'm gonna put her up there because I think she's gonna be good. But we honestly don't know what her potential is because she's still down in NXT and she's still starting out these interesting feuds and stuff. So I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, she's only had two fights now. Well, yeah, one fight, one count out. So yeah, two fights. Then we have Braun Strowman. I thought when they brought him back, it was a good idea. I mean, he was really that big monster. He really helped Bronson Reed get kind of pushed over and stuff, and he did a lot of stuff. I was really surprised by his release and stuff. So, um, honestly, I guess I don't know. I mean, like, I'm glad that they brought him back, but like, they didn't really do much with him, and I don't really know. I guess should be doing more. I think they should have definitely done more with him. I mean, it's kind of one of those things because when you get brought back and then get released for a second time, then it's kind of like, well, they didn't do anything with you, so it's kind of hard to say what to do with that. Then we had Bray Wyatt. I don't think we really will ever know the potential of what it could have been. Obviously, he got re-signed, and I don't think he really had a lot of stuff after that. And then his last thing with LA Knight, and then it was just like he had to take some leave, and then obviously he passed away. So like I don't really know where to put him on there. Um, I'm gonna say, I mean, at least the signing was really good. I just don't really know. Next up, we have Bronson Reed. I honestly don't even remember him getting released. It might have been way before I was watching full time. I think he's doing good though, so I think that's a good spot to put him in. Obviously, he's part of Seth Rollins' faction, so we'll see how it goes. Next up is Carlito. Honestly, I feel like it was a pretty good idea to bring him back. I felt like they brought him back and then they didn't use him for so long that like they kind of forgot, and then they kind of just shoved him into the LWO and then into the Judgment Day, and like a lot of it like worked and didn't work, but I feel like it really could have done something else. So I guess I'll put it mid. Like it was a good idea, but like they didn't really execute it that much. Then we got Candice LeRae, who just took that nasty spill during the tables, ladders, chairs match at SummerSlam. She is definitely the one that needs to be like pushed more. I feel like she's underrated, but it's hard to say how underrated she is because she just is so good. Like she took so many good bumps. She does good work on there. I don't think her mic works even that bad. So it's like why not like push her towards that, especially with a mid-card division on SmackDown that desperately needs new people. You have her there, and she has ties with DIY, ties with Nia Jax. She's kind of the perfect person to put there. Next up is Chelsea Green. I think her being re-signed and brought back, I think it's been great for them. I don't know if I would put it like in the GOAT, because obviously like she's more of like a mid-carder and stuff, so like I don't know if you necessarily put her in that area, but I'm gonna put good. I mean, I do feel like she's came back. She's had a lot of momentum. She's done a lot of stuff. So honestly, you can't really blame any of it. So or like be upset with any of it. Next up is CM Punk. I think that's easily a GOAT re-signing. I mean, it was just such a shocker for a lot of people, and it was just a big surprise for the whole entire sports world to bring him back after all that time, after all the stuff that they said. So honestly, it's just amazing. So, and he's done a lot of stuff, main evented a lot of events, done a lot of PLEs, been in a lot of hot feuds, like with him, Drew McIntyre, even him with Cena. All of that stuff is just puts you up at the top, and to get somebody re-signed like that. Next up is Dakota Kai. I'll be honest, like I feel like they fumbled her a lot. I feel like Damage Control in general was fumbled towards the end, and when she got out of that, she just really didn't do much that they could have done with her. So I don't know if having her here really has done anything for WWE. It's not her fault, but like what do you do? And then they've released her now, so I don't know. I guess I'll put mid. I feel like she's a way better wrestler. Actually, I'll put should be doing more. I mean, she's not even looks like she's wrestling currently because she's out of her contract's window or whatever of non compete. So I guess should be doing more. Next up is Dexter Loomis. Now the in between, like all of that, I feel like him now being in the wide sick is honestly a good spot for him. I don't know if I would. It's like I guess I would just put it in good because it works for that. I do feel like it has like a expiration date because once that faction goes away, I don't see many people other than maybe Uncle Howdy and probably maybe Nikki Cross like surviving that. But even then, it's a little hard. So I don't know. I'll also put Eric Rowan up in that same category. I think those were the only two. Oh, Uncle Howdy. I think I'd put all of them in there. I mean, they're doing good work, and it was good that they re-signed them. But it's really hard to tell once this faction dissipates what will happen with all of them because there's not much you can do with that. Next up is Dragon Lee. He's an easy should be doing more. It's nothing against him at all. He's a very good wrestler. He retired. What is it? Justin Liger. Uh, God, I always forget his. It's like three parts, but he has phenomenal like momentum and his history and all this, and it's just like what are we doing with him? But I guess he is in the main event for the Triple Mania Triple A crown or what is it Triple A title. I think he would be a awesome pick. Obviously Dom Mysterio is probably the best pick to pick, but he's also really high up there to be like, yeah, he would be a good one to put the belt on, especially with his wrestling ability. Next up is Emma. I don't think it ever really worked out for her. I mean, I just feel like they brought her back for pretty much nothing, but I don't know. Next up might be, I don't know if this would be a controversial one or something else, but Ethan Page, I feel like you got to put it up and go. I mean, he's just been that monster heel in NXT, and he's helping so much, like so many people develop their ability to feud with people because he's down there, and he's just good. Like I think his wrestling is good, his mic skills are great, like everything works really well down there, and I think he's helping so many people get to that next level that like there's nothing that you can do to buy that, with some people it's very hard to get. Next up is Julia. Also I think is a goat signing. I mean, she it was a hot free agent. I guarantee if she even had an extra window of like being a free agent, AEW would have swooped up and tried to get her, or somebody major, because like she is a great wrestler. Next up is Jacob Fatu. Again, got to put him in that GOAT category. He's been phenomenal since been back. He's a huge seller of merch, everything that you could think of, that metrics. The crowd loves him. Everything is up for Jacob Fatu. Next up is Jade Cargill. I feel like they've like kind of dropped her at the end. I feel like that SummerSlam moment was her moment, and I don't know if she's going to be getting one anytime soon, like that again. So I kind of hate it for her. I just don't know exactly where you're gonna put her. I really feel like a mid card title would have been a better shot for her to start with, like she did with the TBS title, but they kind of pulled her and tried to like let her sink or swim, and I think they felt like she sunk. I honestly don't see what happened, but I don't know. I guess I'm gonna put her in should be doing more because I feel like she's still a main event talent, and I hope they just don't give up on her. Next up is JC Mateo. I'm gonna put him in mid. It's just like he's in that faction. He rarely ever gets to do anything other than henchman duty. I kind of hate that for him because I feel like he has a really good moveset and could be like a Jacob Fatu, where it's just like he's big, he does crazy stuff, and people love him. But I think the way that they've kind of presented him, that it's not going to be anytime soon. Joey Gargano, I think you put up in the good category. I mean, he's done great with DIY since coming back. Um, no complaints. I mean, honestly, if you want to put him up in a higher category, I wouldn't even have a problem with that. Jordan Grace, also put him into good. Jordan Grace is great, like as like a wrestler. I just don't really understand what they're doing with her in NXT because she's kind of not gotten pushed over, and like it's almost like she's just there to help develop talent, kind of similar to Ethan Page. But I feel like Grace is just 100% ready for the main roster, and she's not really helping anybody to a certain extent. It's just kind of like she's there and putting people over, but like it's not helping or hurting people. It's just she shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Kairi Sane, I'm gonna put her in should be doing more just because I like Kairi Sane a lot. She is one of my favorite wrestlers, so I definitely want her in that IC title area doing crazy stuff because she's a fun wrestler. She's entertaining, so she should be doing more. Then we got the next. We'll have Carl Anderson and got the other one and Gallows. I always forget who's who, but the Good Brothers. Honestly, I don't know why they brought him back. I don't think that they are a bad signing, necessarily, type of thing. But I just don't understand why you bring them back because they haven't really done much. Next up is Karrion Kross. I'm gonna put him in the should be doing more. I just feel like he does everything that he needs to be doing. He has entertaining storylines. He sells merch. The crowd loves him, and he just doesn't get that push. And him not winning against Sami Zayn at SummerSlam was a terrible idea. And we're kind of stuck here now with just having this be this thing where he's either gonna get a contract or no contract. But we're kind of just sitting around trying to figure it out. So it's unfortunate. Next up is Lexus King. I'm gonna put him in the mid category. I think he could go up higher if you like him in general. I don't really like his character, and I know that's just like a character he's playing, but man, it's just not fun. It's just not a fun character. I don't really like it. But I need to, I guess, let it see it cook and see what happens. Next up is Meacham. I feel like she should definitely be doing more. I think she had some really good push there, and she did some really good work. And then all of a sudden, it was just radio silence, and she's like been in the background doing other stuff. But hopefully, she gets a little bit of a bigger thing. Motor City Machine Guns, solid tag team. I mean, they've been doing great, so I could put them up in the good. I don't know if I'd put them in the great category just because, or like the GOAT category, because obviously there's still a lot of tag teams and they do stuff, but they do still take L's and they do their job, and they're really solid. Naomi is a GOAT re-signing. I mean, even before she won the Money in the Bank and the title, I think she was already in that category because they brought her back and she's just a phenomenal talent, and her in this heel run has been great. So you got to put her up there. Nia Jax's second run with the company, honestly, I feel like you could put it in the GOAT. I mean, she's been a much safer worker. She's been solid in ring. She's been working on her promo skills. Everything that you want from a person coming back, she's done. If you like her, don't like her. Like, I'm not a big Nia Jax fan, but I can still appreciate that she's came back ever stronger. Next up is Nick Aldis. I like him as the GM. I think it's a good fit, but I do want to see him wrestle in the WWE ring. I really feel they dropped the ball with having him against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So I guess I'll put should be doing more because I would like to see him in the ring at least once, but I don't know if we'll ever get that. Penta, I think, is another one that's in the really good category. He's just been a solid signing. I think they're a little, gung shy onto pulling the trigger on him on some type of title, but I do think we'll have an opportunity soon to see something. Ray Phoenix, I think you put him in the same category. I think eventually they'll put them together and it'll be a much better thing. But, I feel like there's still some stuff to do there. Ricky Saints, another one that's just in the good category. Like, honestly, all of these people just have been good signings. They're still like ruminating and still getting their footing into WWE, and with some of them being in NXT, you still got a little bit of time, so you never know. R-Truth coming back after they're releasing him for like 2 days. I don't know. I feel like with him being reverted back to just being a comedy act now, with John Cena being good, I don't know. I guess I'll put it in mid. Like, I always like R-Truth, and I think it's always a good thing, but I mean, I don't feel like they let him do anything different. Rusev, I'm gonna honestly put him in the mid category right now. I haven't got behind him coming back. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not really it. Charlotte, or not Charlotte. Why do I always say Charlotte instead of Scarlett? Um, I don't really know where to put her because they don't really use her as a wrestler. I mean, she works good with Cross, but it doesn't really necessarily needs to be there, so I'll go mid. Sean Spears, I feel like he had a hotter start in NXT, but they just kind of only use him as a background player now, so I'm gonna have to go mid. Stephanie Core, obviously about to be in Clash of the at Paris. I gotta be a goat signing. She's just been phenomenal. Everybody's going crazy for her. Tali Tonga, he's part of his Solo's faction. I guess I could put should be doing more, but I don't know. And then we got the two Tongans. I'll probably put both of them in mid. I think they've worked. I just think they haven't had time to just be themselves. Those two. I know they won the tag team titles, but even then it was Jacob getting it and then giving it to him. So I don't know, that could have definitely changed stuff. Tegan Knox. I don't think there's anything wrong with Tegan Knox, but I don't think they should have brought her back to the WWE. It just didn't work. Top Dollar, kind of the same. I think he's been way better in the independent scene. Valhalla is also probably a why bother. Not that she's been a bad manager, it's just not really fits. And Zarya, I'll put up in good. She still has some time and she still hasn't won a title, so I think there's some stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.